Hello, in front of me I have Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Lite and HUAWEI MatePad 11.5 paper mat, and in this video we're going to compare those devices to each other. We're going to check the design, the screens, the specs and also the price. Okay, so maybe let's begin with the design, and let's grab the Samsung first. As you take a first look, you can see that it's a little bit smaller than the HUAWEI, but still with a pretty decent size. The screen is pretty big, so when it comes to that, there shouldn't be a big difference. It's not the scale that like this one is almost twice bigger than this. I would say like it's almost unnoticeable, so that's how it looks like. Also, as we flip the tab, we can see the matte back. Also, when I'm tapping on it, it also feels pretty well built. It's not like, you know, that kind of a cheap plastic. And when it comes to the Samsung devices, they always like to get the quality on the first place and the quality of production. So as we swipe it, for example, into the edge like that, you can see that it's pretty thin. In here we have those pins that allow us to use the keyboard, because this device and also his opponent have a possibility to connect with dedicated keyboards. Simply, all you need to do is to grab that keyboard. You can place your tab like that into the pins, and you can connect this tab into your keyboard using the Bluetooth connection. And it also helps with the productivity and creativity. And it's also really comfortable to use. So having that keyboard is a pretty nice thing. Also, as we go to this side, we can see that this device supports, of course, a USB-C port. It provides us with fast charging. And also this device also has a trace and a SIM, and the possibility to enter the SIM card to it. And on the HUAWEI, we don't have that feature, so in here we have a point into the advantage of our Samsung. We can also apply an extra SD card, so we can store more data. Okay, also as we take a look on this side into our device, we can see that the edges are pretty big. For me, it would look definitely better if those edges would be a little bit to the downside. Thanks to that, the screen would be bigger, and for me, that would look simply better. Also, when I'm gently trying to scratch the device, it doesn't have any, you know, loose elements. The plastic isn't, you know, popping. Also, as you knuckle on it gently, you can hear and see that it's pretty well fit. Now let's grab the HUAWEI. Okay, so just like I was saying, it's a little bit bigger than the Samsung. Of course, this device also supports the keyboards, just like I was saying. And here we also have those pins. All you need to do is to grab the keyboard, place it. So thanks to that, our tab will recognize the keyboard, and we will have an option to connect to it. Also, this device came to me with that beautiful leather case. The Samsung unfortunately didn't came like that. We can also adjust it. We can lift it up, this part of our case, and we can, for example, place our tab like that. Now it's standing pretty stable, so I think there's no chance that it will accidentally drop, because it's really well built, and it shouldn't even fall, basically. So it's also pretty cool, for example, for watching movies. Pretty cool thing. So in here, when it comes to that, we have advantage into the Huawei. On this device, unfortunately, we don't have an SD. We don't have a place for the SD card or the SIM card. It simply isn't here, so we cannot add more storage space when we plug our SD. Also, when we take a look on the edge, it has a little different shape, because on the Samsung it was like only a rectangle, and in here we have a little bit difference in the structure and in the shape of the edges of this device. In here also, of course, we have the USB-C port to load our device, and also supports fast charging. Okay. And now, as we launch the screen, because I need to compare it, you can see that the edges that I was talking about, they're a little bit smaller and thinner than on the Samsung. You can take a look right now. It's not a big difference, but for me it simply looks better on the Huawei when it comes to that. Okay, another big thing and another big difference is the screen. I mean, it's texture, because on the Huawei we have the matte screen, which really helps. For example, when you are using your device in a full sun, it doesn't reflect the light as much as the Samsung will do. You can also see even now that on the top left edge of the device we have this displays of light, because in here I have my lamp, and you can see that it's absorbing it pretty okay. For example, I'll show you that when I'll place my Samsung, you can see the reflection. You can also see the marks after the fingers. So definitely, when it comes to the texture of the screen, for me, matte screen is simply better than the normal one. It also helps with the reading, and just like I was saying, for example, when you want to use your device outside when there's a full sunlight, it doesn't reflect that much light, just like Samsung does. Also, for example, when the screen is turned off, the finger marks maybe are a little bit less noticeable than on the Samsung, but for example, when it comes to the cleaning of those screens, it's much easier on the Samsung than on the matte screen of our Huawei. Now I will clean them for a little. On the Samsung, when I'm using the microfiber, those marks after my fingers are removing really smooth, and it's really easy to keep it clean. And for example, when I want to clean it up on the paper mat, it might be a little bit more difficult, and there's a chance that you will have to use a little bit of the water or some kind of a spray to remove those marks completely, because they really like to remain on the matte screen. So the matte screen comes when you want to use it with some cost, and when it comes to that, we have those fingerprints that are harder to remove than on the Samsung. So you just need to pick which option is better for you. Okay, the next thing. Let's launch both devices, and let's get into the settings, and for example first into a display and brightness. Let's open up the settings. In here also the display, and let's begin with the refresh rate. In here it's the screen refresh rate, in here it's the motion smoothness. So we also have the difference in the refresh rate, because simply on the HUAWEI we have up to 120 Hz refresh rate, while on the Samsung we only have up to 90. So if you like to have the smoothest screen, the smoothest animations, you should pick the HUAWEI, because it has simply higher refresh rate than the Samsung. Okay, when it comes to the CPUs, on the HUAWEI we have the Kirin 820. That's kind of a CPU that we have on our HUAWEI. And on the Samsung we have the Exynos 1380. When it comes to the memory and storage, on the Samsung we have 8 on 128 gigabytes that are provided, while on the HUAWEI we have 8 to 256. I think we can see it in About Tablet. Yeah, here it is. We have the RAM and the internal storage. And on the Samsung I need to take a look where it is, because it's sometimes pretty well hidden. And maybe it will be in the device care and in the storage. Yeah, as we take a look on the storage, we have 128 gigabytes when it comes to the internal storage, so we can simply stack more data on our HUAWEI. That's a next point into the advantage of the HUAWEI. Okay, another thing is the battery. On the HUAWEI we have it will be again under the About Tablet thing, maybe under the status, but I might be wrong, or in the battery simply. I'm wondering where it is. Okay, I cannot find this information thing. On the HUAWEI we have almost 1100 miles per hour when it comes to the battery capacity, while on the Samsung, I think in here it might be under the battery, we have 8000 maximum capacity. I mean the mAh. Yeah, in here you can see the battery capacity, how it looks like. Okay. Another thing, of course, is the operating system, because on the HUAWEI we don't have the Android. On the Samsung we have the Android 15 with a full Google ecosystem, so we can log in into our Google account, the Gmail. We won't have any hard things to do. But when it comes to the HUAWEI, we have the Harmony OS, is the HUAWEI's operating system, and in here we have the limited Google ecosystem. So for example, it will be a little bit harder to log in into Google and use all of those features. For example, of course, we don't have the Play Store. We only have the app gallery, and when it comes to downloading those apps, Play Store is much better than the HUAWEI's app gallery. because we can basically download anything from the Play Store and some of the apps. For example, the apps to the benchmarks, I don't know, some games, some communicator apps, for example, such as WhatsApp, they won't be available in the app gallery. Of course, not all of them, but there's a huge chance that the app that you want to download on your Huawei, it won't be available on the in the app gallery. I mean that. Actually, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. This Samsung isn't made of a plastic. That bag. I made a mistake. It's basically some kind of a metal. I don't know exactly, but it's pretty well built. Same thing on the Huawei. Maybe it's some kind of an aluminum. I don't know exactly, but they are not made of cheap plastic, so they won't destroy, for example, if they fall a little bit or when you use a little bit of pressure on them. Alright, and the last thing is the price of those devices. When it comes to the price of the Huawei, for example, in Europe, of course, the price might be different from... it depends in which country you want to buy this device, of course. When it comes to the Huawei, the average buy price of this device in Europe is like 430 euros. And when it comes to the Samsung, in Europe it will be like 4.5 or 400. Of course, everything depends on which version you have. I mean, when it comes to the RAM and the storage space, because the Samsung also has 256 gigabyte version. My device, my Samsung isn't in that version. You just need to simply look for yourself and pick the version that you want. Of course, and as a final result, for me, both of those devices have something that work into their advantage. For example, just like I was saying, the matte screen on the Huawei works really good when you are working and when you're using this device in a full sunlight. But it's a little bit harder to remove the finger marks from the screen, while on the Samsung it's much easier. And also the whole operating system and the ecosystem is for me much better on the Samsung, because we have full Google support. We can do everything. We have access into the Play Store and all Google features, and for example into the Galaxy AI, which in my opinion is really cool and works. I think it's one of the best AIs that we have on the devices in the market, while on the Huawei it might be a little bit worse, but of course everything isn't objective. It depends from the user, so you just need to also find the informations and the differences that you are looking for example, on your own. But I hope that this video helped you, that it was helpful to you. And please leave a like, share and subscribe. That's all. Thank you all for watching.